Geno in California. You're live with Eric and
Hey.
Dave. What would you like to talk about?
So Eric, hello, V. Actually, it was probably just a quick one. I think, what are your guys' opinions on free will?
As defined as how?
Like nothing's predetermined?
Do we mean like sure? There's a thing that gets a little in the way here, and maybe if we make the distinction, it'll help.
Mm-hmm.
So there are people who believe that we're in a deterministic universe, that everything is going to play out the way it is because that's just the way it is. And then there are other claims of determinism that are, hey, God made us this way, and either we have the option or the ability to change the things around us consciously, or we don't.
But either way, that was predetermined.
Yeah, and so we've got to make sure that we're clearly defining free will. Otherwise, we might be talking way past each other.
Also, a lot of people are like, no, it's not predetermined. Not everything is worked out ahead of time. It's all incredibly random and chaotic, which is, again, not free will. Like, we can't control chaos either. So whether we're going the very structured route in terms of, hey, everything has a plan and a purpose and is laid out and you have to follow it, or everything is chaos and nothing makes sense and things just happen randomly, neither of those are free will, technically.
So
Right, and I don't mean like, oh, go ahead.
No. I just wanted to dive in and, help us here.
Yeah, what kind of free will are we talking about?
Well, I mean the free will as in just that you have I guess it wouldn't be the ability to do something either.
Right? It kind of breaks that apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
How dare you make me think a little bit harder about
I know.
It's
I
fun.
know.
Isn't it fun? It's fun.
So many nights over good drinks with friends and about what free will is. Long story short, I don't think that free will makes any kind of sense.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so I believe it's Dennett's view of free will, and he's trying to be compatibilistic about it. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong on who I'm attributing this to. I think it's Dennett. He defines free will as the ability to do something you want to do without being impeded. That is free will. If you have a wish and you go and you can do that thing and make that thing happen, that's free will. But who gave you the wish? And can you decide on whether or not you have a desire in the first place?
Well, and also I can't breathe underwater, but I can drive a car. So depending on my wish, does that mean that it just does not seem like an applicable test?
It's like free will, asterisk.
Yeah.
But no, exactly. It's a big question for sure.
And
all right, yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. You guys make great points. And that would probably be a good definition. I think the best thing to do, I guess, is to give you, one of the examples I was thinking of, and then you guys can, because it may not even be free will now that you guys have
Sure.
So essentially the scenario would be that, if someone, so someone has racist thoughts, right? It's just an example. They have racist thoughts, but they never act on them. That would make them a non-racist individual, or would they still be a racist individual just because they had the thoughts?
Ooh, interesting thought. I would say that everybody is a little bit racist because we all have been coded with certain. I know. Sorry about that. Everybody, having racist thoughts still technically makes you a racist person, I would say. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you are a bad person, because a lot of people have been encoded with these bad thoughts that they then act against. And you can very slowly, it takes a long time. I did this myself and I'm still going through that process, redistributing those thoughts and rebuilding those neural pathways and stopping yourself and thinking new things and exposing yourself to new ideas. So that's not something that is outside of your ability to impact, but it is also not free will because you were encoded with those thoughts to begin with.
I disagree with your definition.
Okay.
I define racism as bigotry based on race. And because of that, there's an action involved in bigotry.
Interesting. Oh, that's a whole other conversation.
And so what I was going to say is you can do a racist thing. You can do a bigoted thing that is based on race and not be a racist. See, racism defined as that has a lot of clear distinctions between a thing that is racist and a person that is racist. And
there's institutionalized racism. There are various types.
And before people in the comments to like crazy degrees, there's also a discussion about whether or not there's a power dynamic required for racism. And if you want to have that conversation, fantastic. I hope that this sparked those conversations to be had. Don't at me.
Have at it. Be nice to each other.
But moving back
all that said, I'm curious where you're going with this in terms of free will.
Well, I mean, honestly, though, I think you guys actually already answered that. The one thing in the definition that you gave me, or the definition, the explanation that you gave me, was that when you say everyone's a little bit racist, everyone may have racist thoughts, I think I would probably substitute that with biased thoughts, and just to a certain degree, then it becomes, I guess, racist. Because then I guess you have to define racism. And I completely agree that everyone has biases, but I would have to disagree with you on that. Everyone has, racist, or, well, I guess I don't know how you say that, any racist thoughts at all. You know what I mean?
Well, I am generally opposed to saying you are a racist versus this is a racist thing to think or do, because then it becomes a problem of rehabilitating that thought or action as opposed to condemning the person outright. But again, we're getting into stuff that I think doesn't.
It's no longer free will. It is a conversation.
It is definitely an interesting conversation.
And it's another call that we can have with someone else that we can or might take at some point in time. But moving back to free will.
Right.
Just so we can stay.
So are you saying essentially that biases are either determined or not determined?
Well, I guess you're right. We're getting a little off. The only reason I even made that distinction was just to clear up that definition. But essentially, I was saying that I do agree with you guys. So you guys already answered my question regarding free will.
Okay.
So
cool.
Yeah, that was it for me. And unless you guys have any questions for me, that was everything.
No, there are a couple of statements in the live chat that we'll take after we're done with the call. But in the meantime, Geno, thank you for calling in. Thank you for waiting on the line. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. It was a great time. I'm going to call back. Thank you, guys.
Please do. Bye. Wow, we answered the free will question in like 10 minutes. We're good. Take that, Dennett and Harris.
I feel like we answered it in 2 minutes and then spent 8 minutes talking about race.
It did seem to draw out a little bit long.
Yeah.
Toward the end there.
Oh, my goodness. So there are so many things when it comes to racism. And I you know what? No, there are too many.
Yeah.
If someone wants to call in with a specific claim or a specific question about it.
You don't dive into the live chat. That's swimming in the sharks, man.
So somebody had one really good question because they're wondering, what the hell does this have to do with religion?
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you. There is a idea, at least in the Christianity that I grew up with and in a lot of religions that I've engaged with, that you are given this gift of free will by your deity, and that you're being judged based on what you do with that free will. And that's what's going to determine whether or not you get eternal paradise or eternal suffering.
Right. And it's also the reason that sin exists and
exactly.
Suffering. And it's their ace card, essentially. Well, free will.
Yeah. And so if you're trying to figure out, okay, well, my action is going to lead me to hell, but it turns out, no, you never had a choice. You're just a meat robot. Then that throws
Calvinism is true.
Okay, moving on. There are a lot of implications when it comes to religion, and it's specifically having a lot to do with people's responses. It seems like today there are a lot of meta conversations like that.
Yeah.
When it came to atheism and the definition of atheism, people were asking, what does this have to do with the claim? Well, what it has to do is with the burden of proof.
Right.
And so I've talked to plenty of Christians, and I know you have as well, and non-Christians alike, that have moved the goalposts. Okay, well, there should not be a burden on me to substantiate my claims. The burden should be on you to prove to me that I'm wrong. Well, that's why it's important for us to have this discussion. Again, it's a meta conversation that I think that we jump into, and we don't realize, hey, not everybody here, is applying their understanding, and engaging the same way. We're having this conversation. It has everything to do with religion. It has everything to do with where the burden of proof lies. It has everything to do with the claims of sin and free will. And
I like to think that's kind of what sets us apart as a show. We dive into those meta conversations and have conversations that will always be pulled out if you're debating a Christian or a theist on an issue, but might not be directly tied to the Bible or the God claim itself.
Agreed. I think as a host, I want to make sure, though, that people are latching on to why we're having it in the first place.
I like that clarification. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? We've got some awesome callers. Holy shit! Why are all the theist callers calling in the last on the back leg of the show?
Do we want to thank the patrons first so we can jump into these last few?
Absolutely. And before I thank the patrons, I do want to say, you know who you are in the live chat. I will send you $5 on PayPal to call in to tell me what the hell you mean when you say I'm not a practicing atheist. Because that is going to haunt my dreams if I don't find out. I will send you $5 on PayPal. Call. Okay, sorry. What the hell is a practicing atheist? I have no idea. What is our doctrine? Like, what are our tenets?
Do you listen to Waking Life? Not Waking
I've seen Waking Life.
Waking Up, not Waking Life. Waking Life is awesome. Do you listen religiously to Waking Up?
I don't.
Okay, then get out of here.
Not a true. But then again, I'm not a true Scotsman. Okay, so God damn it. This is where we go. I want to thank our top 5 patrons. Our top 5 patrons this week are Eric Tweet, Desert Heathen, Bethany P, Jay Friedman, and Ward Knipling. Thank you. It's your support and the support of everyone else who is contributing to the show. It's keeping us going. It's keeping the ACA putting on shows like that. We have, can we move to the crew cam? I know I'll give you a second to set it up, but we have an incredible crew, and it's because of you that we're able to do this. There they are along the bottom. There they are coming up. These are volunteers, you guys. The only reason they're able to do it is because we're accessing all of this technology that is being supported and provided by you. So thank you. They're volunteering, we're volunteering, and it's your support that's allowing us to do it. So if you want to support us, go to patreon.com/talkheathen to me. That's patreon.com/talkheathen to me.